Hi guys, thanks for stopping back at the Cranberry Cornstalk YouTube channel, a channel where we share our love for primitive decor. The weather is finally breaking here in Pennsylvania. There's some warm spells, then there's some snow again, but we're getting there. Spring's right around the corner. Speaking of which, I just got a letter in the mail. I'm so excited. Shaker Woods has finally got me in. I'm going to be able to buy a booth out there this year. So if you have your calendars out, getting ready for the year and all the fun events this summer, the Shaker Woods Primitive Festival is in the woods in Ohio, Columbiana, Ohio, and there are so many vendors there. If you have a chance, try to check it out. The dates are August 13th and 14th, 20th, 21st, 27th and 28th out there in Columbiana, Ohio. Check it out. Look it up online. Shaker Woods Festival. There's also Christmas in the Woods after that, but I will not be at the Christmas in the Woods because if you work at the event for the summer, the Shaker Woods, you cannot do the Christmas ones. But I am going to purchase a building out there, and I've been trying to do this. This is 7 years now. I've been trying to get in over there. For one reason or another, it didn't work and I couldn't get in, but I finally made it this year. I've got my application letter in the mail, so that is so exciting for us here. It's just a place, I love the atmosphere. I love the woods. I love just the idea that it's late summer. All that fun stuff, and my items fit perfectly into Shaker Woods Festival. So we're excited about that. We'll be at Penn's Colony as well, and that's after Shaker Woods Festival. I'll give you more information regarding Penn's Colony. We have a booth out there as well. This week's been crazy busy. You know what? If you are a small business owner and you're trying to build your candle business, soap business, primitive decor business, jewelry business, whatever it is that you do, and you feel like everybody's selling and everybody's packing, making packing videos but you, I'm going to tell you, don't give up. I have just recently been having a lot of wholesale orders come through, and I've just been crazy busy, and I honestly didn't think that maybe wholesaling was for me. I didn't know that it generated enough for it to be worth it. You know, if you wholesale items, you have to discount the price, but you get more quantity, so it's more work, which, as I've mentioned before on this channel, I have a full-time job, so working a second job is just a little bit difficult, but it's exciting and fun. You specifically choose items that you can reproduce very quickly and very fast, and ones that would make a profit for you if you, got a fuzzy in my mouth, if you were to mass produce. So in other words, quantity items that you can get more materials to make the item would help you gain more profit, that you could sell multiples and then you would equal out the same. It's a little more work, but it gets your brand out there. It depends on what you're after. For me, I just enjoy primitive decor, and my branding is important to me only because I don't have a specific item. I don't just do candles, I don't just do soaps, I don't just do paintings, I just do primitive decor. So it makes it a little bit more complicated for me. But if you're like I was and you're just beginning to wonder, is it worth it? Just stick with it. Just keep going. You know, longevity I think is key, because things are starting to really break for me right now, and a time where the world you wouldn't think would be very retail. I think they rely back on the idea that it's still home, and we still have to make ourselves feel at home, and just tiny little comforts throughout the year to change the seasons in our home and help to decorate our home and make it feel cozy and comforting and warm. So we've been doing really good here at Cranberry Cornstalk, and if you are a purchaser from us, a wholesaler, thank you so much for supporting us. And since you're on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind clicking the like button, and make sure you go over, click the bell, subscribe. And when you click that bell, go over and hit all. If you hit all, it just tells you each time we release a video, and you can keep up with us and follow us along and see where we're at next, see what we're making next. Maybe you can try your hand at some of the things we do. Maybe you have a specific item that we make that you want to try to follow just that particular item. That way, if you click all, you can click on the specific videos that you want to watch. But clicking that thumbs up button and leaving a comment really helps us get played more by YouTube, and that increases our exposure for our brand, the Cranberry Cornstalk, and which in turn increases our business. If you haven't done so yet, check out our website, www.thecranberrycornstalk.com. We also have an Etsy. We have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We've got them all, and we love to have you. We love to chat with you back and forth. You guys are awesome, amazing. You give me good tips. You have really interesting questions, and it's just so much fun. It's just been a really fun journey for us here at the Cranberry Cornstalk. So, I think I've told you everything I need to, and let's get started. So the first thing I have over here is I was showing you some of the ways that I wax my melt. I melt all of my paraffin in that pot. It's different from my candles that I make. This is my hand rolled candle, so I need paraffin for that. I can't use soy in regards to the workability time. So I melt it in there, put it in my regular candle pot here on a burner to keep warm, and then over here I'm working on a cookie sheet. It's a regular cookie sheet. I've dusted it with cinnamon, and I've poured my candle wax into my pan. I'm letting it cool. I'll measure these out and I'll show you how I do that. Okay guys, so I did not realize that when I pressed down, I was off camera. So I started out rolling them up at the right temperature. You have to wait for the temperature for the wax to be pliable, not brittle, but not wet either. So there's like a fine line. You really have to stand over the wax and just wait for it to get pliable. And you roll each piece that you measure. I measured each one exactly 2 inches, and you roll them up, and when you roll them, then you put your hand across, or I mean you can use whatever you want. I use my hand, palm of my hand, and you press down to make it look like a real cinnamon roll. So it sort of squats out and it pushes the layers together so that they look like a cinnamon roll that has risen, that the yeast has made them rise. And I didn't realize how far I was off camera in this, but I had literally made cinnamon rolls all day. My order was huge, and so I kept forgetting to tape it. I tell you this every time. I know you would think I would get it into my head to record when I'm working, but I just get so excited and busy that I don't think to get the camera and tripod out and record. But I got some of it for you. You just basically roll each layer up like this. Again, like I said, press it down. I hope that this helps if you want to try your hand at making some cinnamon rolls with the blackened beeswax. And as you can see on my paper and stuff, it is very messy. The thing with black wax is it does stain. It gets on everything. So I put paper and foil down where the places that I'm using the pans and stuff. I try to keep that foil, and then of course down here where I'm rolling and using my hands, I just use a big roll
brown freezer paper that I roll out and keep it on, because you can see the mess that it makes. You wouldn't want to do this on just any surface. You have to prepare. But yeah, there, I got the way I press them. You just mold them with your hand until you like the way it looks, and then you let them cool down. And that's basically how you make them. Now if you look closely here in this video clip, the wax got cool on me. You don't want this to happen. When it gets cool, it gets hard, and then it won't roll. They're salvageable at this point, but even just another 60 seconds would have lost that strip of wax, and I would have had to melt it back down and start over. But there's just a perfect temperature that you would get the wax to get them to roll. And that comes in practice, when you practice.